don't people understand?
Can we explain it? Will they listen?
UnleashReality.io.
Happy Sunday. Right around you, you have Titan Studios. After talking with Bitbender on Friday on FazRadio, I wanted to put together some thoughts, some things maybe we didn't get to, and give you a take on something I'd been thinking about since then. Today I want to talk about the great reset on these Nodes and Townstar, who owes what to whom, and the communications that Gala has. Maybe from the beginning, for some of you who don't know, my experience with Gala started about 1.5 years ago. Faz got me interested, of course. We had a lot of conversations right when he was first getting involved. He would spend time with Bitbender on the phone and then call me, and I told him he was crazy at first. So here we are. I just want to I want to start by saying a number to you. And that number is $17,200. That's what my spreadsheet tells me the value I've gotten from Gala's experience so far this year. Just that little bit. Playing games, being a node owner, that's what it's brought in year to date, so January until now. It's not too shabby, okay? Very, very well done so far. Regardless with the headaches that people have. I have my own headaches, as we all know. But really, that's where I'm sitting. So I don't have much to complain about as far as that goes. So you take in the previous 1.5 years, you know how the market has gone. I've done very well on this platform. One thing that was pointed out this morning in one of the channels was that the glory days are kind of over, right? So if you got in at the very beginning, you might have 1,000x'd by now. If you would have put $5,000 in right at the beginning, you could very easily, without even trying, have millions of dollars right now. So if you got into the platform later, as in last week, last month, even just a few months ago, it's probably not going to be the same experience for people who have been here for a long time. It's a big difference on where it's going to be from then till now and going forward, right? So a comment that was made, and I believe it was Vera that posted it in one of the channels as well, is Benefactor mentioning that those glory days are over as well. So the earn portion is going to be changed substantially. So knowing that, you have to make decisions a little bit differently now moving forward than you have in the past. With this great reset, let's talk about the nodes just for a moment. The node votes have been in. They were recorded. It is what it is. Now we need to make the best of it. You're going to have to be a deeper player, regardless of however you want to do that. Regardless of what proposals come up, you're either going to have to get with the program or exit the program. So it sounds pretty harsh when people say that, but it is what it is, okay? Gala has to pivot in order to make the best of the situation and try and improve the situation. They didn't anticipate, I don't think, coming in and having this happen. I'm pretty sure that they anticipated a lot of better things were going to happen than actually happened. So let's take each of these votes minute by minute. I know that it's been said that turning these nodes into NFT has been tabled. Well, let's work through one thing at a time, okay? Let's work through what this bonus structure is going to work with. Let's work with the vote that's currently going on right now with bringing platforms aboard versus individual games. I understand that with how fast they're moving, having all these games in the system, people just aren't going to have time, the energy. All you're going to end up doing is voting. So I think that's a really good idea. That's from my perspective. You may differ, to each your own, right? So I think that resetting this and adapting and changing is a good thing. I'm nervous, just like everybody else is. We don't know what's going to happen. I personally, I have a full-time job. I have a family. I don't want to be spending 4, 5, 6 hours a day gaming. I don't have the time for it, right? So if that's part of the bonus, the people who have the time for that will make the most, and I won't. But that's part of the decision that I have to make. That's ultimately on me. Do I want to make those commitments or don't I? So you've got to make that decision for yourself. All right. From the perspective, though, on Townstar. So we just got the notice that they are halting and temporarily suspending the play to earn payouts on everything. The town nodes won't be receiving rewards. The gaming, every day you go in, you do whatever meta you're at, you get your points, you get your Townstar the next day. They're putting a halt to that, right? So we've had many a debate on whether that's the smart thing to do or not. I could go all night here on that, right? So let's look at it from a different angle, though. I'm going to suggest that since we're in this great reset, let's take this opportunity to really reset things, right? So here's my recommendation. I think Gala should move out of P2E altogether. Forget about it. Let it go away. I think they should move into more of a P2O or P2Own model. All right. They already have the marketing around that with owning your game assets. Drop the earning completely. Now wait before you turn me off. Let me explain what I mean by that. So playing to own is way different than playing to earn. One of the big problems that we have is separating Gala from other P2E, streamers is the best way I'll put it. You have clickbait. Somebody posted today, there's a certain YouTuber that put up the clickbait, you can earn millions from play to earn gaming or whatever, and there's a million YouTubers that are doing stuff just like that. And they're pumping it, and they're hyping it, and they're FOMOing it, and people spend a ton of money, and they're just getting wrecked left and right. So you have Gala on this side who keeps saying we don't want the ROI boys in here, right? We want gamers in here. Well, traditional gamers don't want to come over here because they don't like the P2E model, right? So let's separate that out and put it into a play to own. You're going to own your assets. That's the only thing that you're marketing towards. Gala has its bread and butter of income coming in, or at least it should, from the sale of their NFTs, right? So this doesn't change anything. Just put it into that play to own model. Nobody that I've found out there is doing play to own, and they're not marketing play to own. You can separate yourself also from the pack by moving to that play to own side. Next, it's going to take away all of your economy headaches. You can hire 50 economists, it doesn't matter. Play to earn is a really simple concept. You have to have more people buying into the system than people are taking out. And with marketing P2E, that earn portion, it's people are going to continually pull out of that system, whether or not. I had a conversation about this last night, right? So the rental system. You're going to have renters who are here for nothing but the money. So they're going to rent these NFTs that are going to get them to get their points and to earn tokens, and they're going to take those off and they're going to cash them in and make their car payment for the month. The owners, on the other hand, bought all these NFTs, and they need to make that money back, right? Because they laid out, $5,000 for whatever NFT that they had. They want to get that money back. Now, these renters are generally going to be people that are, for lack of a better way to put it, whales, right? And they need to get that money back. They'd like to see some return on that. So they're going to take part of that. They're going to pay off what they did. They're going to want to buy more, so they'll probably save some of it. But they want to take some income too, right? So they're going to be pulling money out. And the engine has to feed it at twice of what's going out. So the economic balance, this is like a nightmare. It's way more complicated than it needs to be. If you move to a play to own, you're selling your NFTs, the players are using them, they can still earn in the game, but then it's over. You don't have to worry about economies, right? The tokens then are just used for gems or for stars or for whatever is in these games when you want to upgrade a tank or another buff you want to put in. So people are still going to want that. There's nothing wrong with the tokens just having the utility of being a payment or an on-platform token. There's nothing wrong with that. Could it be used better? Absolutely. But again, I'm not going to sit here for an hour and go into all those things. You totally take out the economy part of it and let the economy run itself. You're then focused on A, games, and B, NFTs. That's it. You don't have to worry about it. Next, you have your regulatory issues, right? So this can easily lower those regulatory issues with tokens and tokenomics and who balancing economies. Was Gala tweaking this system to make the token price go up? If so, for whom? Did Gala dump onto the market to provide liquidity? It takes all those headaches away, right? You have an NFT, regardless if they call it a security or not. You have this NFT, you sold it as a product to a consumer, a player who then uses that in-game, and when they're done using it or they don't want to use it anymore, they can either rent it out or sell it. But that's on them. They pay the taxes. Very easy, very simple, makes it done. Those earn features, as I mentioned, can stay, right? So you have these Townstar NFTs that had earnings associated with them or points now. That can stay in. You can change that just like you have with the cliff and bringing down how much is being paid out. And you can come up with 15 different economic levers inside so that you can figure out how to balance things a little bit. But in reality, I think that model is going to be too difficult at this stage of the game. When there's millions of daily active users playing games, yeah, maybe that would work a little bit better. You can always add more earning features in later, okay? But like we're seeing right now, you can't take them away without repercussions. When you take things away, that's a problem. Adding things, people are always happy. So with this great reset, since you've taken pretty much everything away at this point, and we're resetting and we're retooling and we're going to a different direction, let's go all the way. Let's retool how this whole platform looks. That's my idea. That's my suggestion for Gala. And what is this going to do, right? So people are going to leave. And as Eric has said many times, for him, the right people are going to leave. The people who are only here for the investment portion, they're going to leave, right? That's okay. Let them go. Those people will find other projects to jump on. Many of the people I've seen mentioning some other play-to-earn platforms, they're going to leave anyway. This isn't for everybody. No, it isn't. And I've tossed around, heck with all this, I'm just selling it. And then I think about it, and I talk with Faz, and we have come up with a great way of communicating over the last year while we go through this. And the reason that I stay is because I don't need to go out and make $100,000 a year in play to earn gaming. I just don't. So I know this platform. I know that Eric is going to do whatever it takes to be successful. And that's going to cause pain at times, just like it is right now. But he's going to make it successful, one way or another. Am I going to end up a billionaire from this? No, it isn't going to happen. And when you resign yourself to that and understand that anything that you bring in is better than nothing if you're going to play games, it's okay. So the people who want to leave should leave. The people who want to stay, it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt bad for a while until this gets figured out. The last part of this before I move on is the gamers, right? So these people exit. You want to bring people back into the system who are gamers. And traditional gamers have this mantra of it's the devil, it's poison over here on the P2E side. So taking that P2E out and turning it more into where it's play to own and focusing on owning those assets and taking the focus off the earning, I think would soften that and bring a lot of those people to at least open their eyes. Now, how that's implemented, you can't have $5,000 NFTs anymore, especially if the earnings are going to be on the minimal side. You have to bring those down. But I think they'll be very interested and at least open their eyes to it if that works. You have an epic opportunity coming up. And as we know, you see what I did there? 194 million, I think, people on the Epic Games platform will be able, with one click at some point, to get a Gala Games account. How many of those are those gamers that are hesitant to get into P2E? You brand yourself as play to own, that might get more of them to come over here. And Gala needs every single gamer it can get. That's a great way to approach it. We touched on this on FazRadio on Friday. So who owes what to whom, right? So Gala doesn't owe us anything, okay? They give us an opportunity to go to their platform, be engaged in the ecosystem, buy their products, play their games. This is a centralized gaming platform. Well, we can argue decentralization. That's a whole nother conversation. We can. I might do a live for that because that would be a fun conversation. But right now, you're buying products. You're buying NFTs to put in game, and you're playing the games. That's the extent of it. They don't owe you a return. They don't owe you any of that. You willingly bought these. The risk is on you. So as things change, I bought NFTs based on what I felt was going to be a good mix of something to play with in game as well as make some money on. Okay. Now that changed, and I'll get to that in a moment. But overall, that risk is on me. Just like when you go and buy tennis shoes or you go and buy a car, the risk is on you. Because the game doesn't change in the sense that you bought a product for what they offered. Gala does owe people, I do believe, who made those decisions on buying those NFTs with a certain earning attached to it or whatever the case may be, an opportunity to earn with those. So notice I didn't say money. Notice I didn't say how much money. Okay, I'll play the ambiguity game like Gala likes to play. And I do believe that's how it was marketed. That's how it was sold. They do owe us that, right? I also believe that Gala owes us the utility for any NFTs or tokens that are issued. Absolutely. So that is their responsibility because we can't control that. That's something that Gala would control. And they do owe the community who is putting money into that system the ability to create a utility for what they're issuing. Unless they want to tell us straight up, there's going to be no utility for these. You can just play with them. They're collectible. But being upfront and honest with people about that and exactly what they're going to be is important. Which dovetails us directly into the communication issue, right? So what does the communication have to do with that? I've been saying for the last few months that as a player or person on this side of the house, that I'm not going to buy anything unless I know what the price is up front, what it's going to be used for, what the utility is going to be, and what, if any, earnings are going to be there. And if any of those can't be told to me up front before I buy it, I'm not buying it. Because you know what? I can always go to OpenSea later and pick one of those up and judge at that point if it's going to be worth it or not. I'm not going to go in anymore with this FOMO and this hype and just buy into things because it's Gala. We've seen that a lot of these changes can take place, and a lot of the things that used to maybe be worth it at those price points are not anymore. So that's the approach I'm taking. I would encourage you to do the same. So I've talked a little about what I believe Gala owes to the community. What about the community? What does the community owe Gala? So the community owes them the support, right? They're doing all the work. They're doing all the dev work. They're spending all the money. They're hiring all these people. They're putting together a platform. We need to support that. So all the FOMO and the hype and all the butthurt that people have, it's got to stop. You just got to enjoy the platform for what it is. It's a platform of games, and it's a platform of pretty cool people who all want to get together and accomplish a common goal of playing games, having fun, maybe making some money, right? Who doesn't like that? So I would suggest that we owe them that support and the patience, right? And the time. And it does take time to develop and build epic games, right? Now, I'm not going to judge. I'm not a developer. I don't know how long it takes for all these things to get done. I would assume a while. And there's a time frame that's reasonable and a time frame that's unreasonable. And I think some of the senior developer end people who are on the platform have a pretty good idea of how long that should take. Reach out to them, find out, hey, is this taking longer than it should, or is this kind of what's expected? And most importantly, you got to be nice, okay? Nice to the Gala staff, nice to your community members. And I know what you're thinking right now. You're like, dude, no way. Eric comes up in there and MFs everybody and is rude and is nasty. Okay, that doesn't mean you have to be. It really doesn't. That is behavior that I find unacceptable. But that's Eric. Again, you can love it or leave it, but that's who he is. And it doesn't mean that you have to be that way. And yes, you're going to get mad at things. And yes, you're going to have times where you just want to reach out and strangle somebody because something went sideways on a drop or whatever. But being nice is the way to do it. Okay, Bucks approaches things way differently, and things change. Nobody is ever really rude to Bucks because she is nice to you. You be nice to... Just be nice to people, all right? That's what we as a community owe Gala. So I think we need to take that to heart as we move forward, right? So communication, because we're doing a great reset, let's do a great reset on this communication. It's freaking terrible, right? The way that they communicate things is A, through a fire hose. There's too much information, too fast. There's too many Discord channels. There's too many announcements. There's too many of everything. Now, we expect that. Look, Gala's a huge platform at this point. And the other part of the problem is there's 19 people all communicating different things. Take the time at this point to put a grinding halt on all this old style communication and methods of putting information out, and stop and relax and reset it completely. There should only be really one person talking as the spokesperson for Gala, and that should be done in one place, not 15 places, not by 15 people. And also the ambiguity in these communications needs to stop. We understand that Law Tank has to go out and put his disclaimers on things and make people understand that this is not an investment and yada yada. We get that, right? So do that. But let's be honest and upfront. Lay it out there to people. Hey, you know what? These aren't going to earn very much. They're really not. We think we've priced them fairly. If we haven't, well, then you just won't buy them, and we'll rethink it and put them back out. Here's exactly what this does. When it comes to things like Galaverse announcements and all that kind of stuff, there's a ton of ambiguity in there as well. And people read it quickly and they move on to something else, and there's miscommunication. You have to remember, and this is going to sound like really rude and condescending, and I apologize, but I don't know a better way to put this. You have to shoot that communication for the lowest common denominator. You've got to shoot that to the person who has a 6th grade education, who's on this site and is trying to figure out what they're going to do on the platform moving forward. There's a lot of people on here. A lot of people on this Discord that we bump into. Remember, CFA is an educational Discord, and a lot of these Gala people come over here. And there's a lot of them that don't even know what the Polygon chain is. They don't even know what it means when you mention Jiri and having your own blockchain. They have no idea whatsoever what that is. And when you put out a communication that has all of this ambiguity, all of this ridiculous verbiage in it and everything else, all it does is confuse people. People are going to interpret it how they want to interpret it. So you need to make sure that you're communicating it in a way that they're going to interpret it the same way that you're presenting it. That is your responsibility. I remember back, not this past Friday on CFA, but maybe a month ago, we had Bitbender on as well. And it was announced that there was going to be a big push for education on the Gala side, and I haven't seen that yet. He mentioned it was a commitment, so that's on the Thune list, right? Let's get this Thune list out of the way. The education should be like right up at the top, especially with these platform changes. There's more. I mean, there's Web3 logins coming. There's all kinds of stuff. These people are not going to know what to do when Web3 login happens. You're going to have people who are just going to get absolutely wrecked trying to figure this out. And there's a lot of people who don't even know how to connect a MetaMask wallet. All right? Get out ahead of this. Get this platform, this educational part out. Get it out there for them, so that they can start learning about it now. So when the time comes, it's a seamless switch. People get frustrated, they get pissy. When people get pissy, there's a lot of problems in the community. You've got to be one step ahead. With these communications, telling us stuff way too early has got to stop too. You'll tell us something that's going to happen 9 months from now, and then we forget about it and we miss something or whatever the case is, and people get mad and you go, we told you that in an AMA, and no one's going to go back to an hour-long AMA that was recorded 6 months ago and listen to the whole hour to get that information. They don't even know where to find it, because again, it's like a fire hose on the Gala YouTube. How do they know what's in every AMA? Is there a list somewhere where we can search? perhaps with a text search or something like that to find out in what AMAs, what phrases were used, and be able to reference that and go to that point, that would be a great way to do it too. Rebuilding trust on this platform is going to be huge. And for the ones that remain, the ones that don't exit, it's going to be a long road to rebuild that trust. Okay. People are judgmental and they base that judgment on past experiences. And Gala has had way more things go sideways than it's had go right. So unfortunately, that trust is down and it takes time to do that. Now, with these changes, as we mentioned a little bit earlier, people are going to exit, new people are going to come on. They're going to come on with 100% trust. Little skepticism maybe, but they have, there's nothing to be broken with that trust. So you have an opportunity to build that trust to level 100 right off the bat. And the people who are on platform now, many of them around, level 50, all right, it's going to take time for them to get up there. But especially these new people coming in, you don't want them to have a bad experience. You want them here ready to go, ready to embrace this platform, ready to fall in love with the Gala experience, and ready to spend their money. And they're not going to be that way if they come in and all they see is a bunch of butthurt people with trust issues and complaints and problems. They're going to walk away without spending any money. And they're probably not going to come back later, even if you tell them that, hey, things are different now. Your great reset is right now. Capitalize on it. Okay. I want to thank you guys for taking the time to watch this today. I hope this puts some thought into your head. Think about some things, and let's take it day by day together. Have a good rest of your weekend.